Okay, what is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Juggernaut Show. I'm your host, Juggernaut097, and this evening I am here to review AEW W Double or Nothing 2023. So, Double or Nothing was this past Sunday, May 28th, 2023, which it was held from the great city of Las Vegas, Nevada. And man, I'm so happy this is like one of the last shows I have to review from this past weekend because, and like I said in my past review for like AEW, I mean not AEW, sorry, for NXT Battleground. Which if you haven't watched my NXT Battleground review, definitely go check that out because I just recently did that. But I said I hate when these companies do wrestling shows on the same weekends. I just really don't like that at all. Like, can't these wrestling companies figure out like different weekends to put wrestling shows on? But oh no, that's just me. But yeah, Double or Nothing overall. I thought AEW was I thought it was a good show. I mean, there were some matches I didn't care about. Like, I don't know, there's just a thing with AEW sometimes where like, okay, yeah, I care about this, I care about this. Oh, I don't really care about that. Like sometimes AEW has an inconsistency, like with storytelling. But overall, I mean, AEW in ring wise is amazing. And Tony Khan, I tell you, man, you are. I mean, it's crazy, like how long these matches are. Because like Tony Khan needs to cut down on some of the length of these matches. But I understand why Tony Khan makes these pay per views so long because they don't have pay per views every month, so it makes sense for them to do that. But still, I mean, Tony Khan, you can cut down on some of these matches. Like some of these matches don't need to be 25 minutes, 17 minutes long. Some of them could be a little shorter. They don't always need to be like 20 to 25 minutes. But yeah, let's quit wasting time because I don't want to make this review as long as AEW Double or Nothing. I mean, it wasn't as long as last year's show, but still, it was a pretty long show, nonetheless. But let's go ahead and get started though. So the first match, and we're not going to talk about the pre-show because I don't really care about the buy-in or the pre-show, whatever you want to call it. But the first match that kicked off the show was in the 21-man Blackjack Battle Royal for the AEW International Championship. So Orange Cassidy was putting his title on the line in this Battle Royal here. I mean, Orange Cassidy ended up retaining. I mean, I saw him retaining. Like most of these guys were tag team guys in this match here. And here's a big problem with this match. It was too long, like way too long. This match did not need to be 22 minutes long, like seriously. But basically the sum of this match, like I'm gonna give my highlights of this match. So I enjoyed what the Lucha Bros were doing in this match. What's his name? I enjoyed what Commander was doing, and Jeepers. I enjoyed what the Lucha Bros were doing this match. I don't know if you guys heard that, but something crazy just went on outside, something like with a car. But I enjoyed what the Lucha Bros were doing, with what Commander was doing this match, and what what's his name? He's another luchador. Bandito. I can't think of his name there for a minute, but that was pretty cool stuff that he was doing this match. We saw Brian Cage eliminate Keith Lee in this match. So apparently they were supposed to be Keith Lee and Swerve Scott on this show, but they ended up being in this battle royal here. What else do we have in this match? We saw Ricky Starks eliminate both Jay White and Juice Robinson. So I was surprised that he eliminated both of them. I thought maybe he might eliminate one, and then one of them might take him out. Big Bill, he was looking strong in this match. What else do we have? I mean, like I said, a lot of guys were just tag team guys in this match. I mean, we had best friends, help out Orange Cassidy a lot in this match. There was one point where Trent Beretta, he took a big boot from Big Bill, and saved Orange Cassidy from getting eliminated. And then in the media scrub, Orange Cassidy was like, "Oh, you know what? Maybe I should give Trent another title shot again for him saving him." But the final four came down to Orange Cassidy, Big Bill, Swerve Scott, and Pentagon. So Big Bill he eliminated Pentagon, and then it came down. So then the final three were Big Bill and OC and Isaiah Swerve Scott. So Big Bill Bill wanted to get rid of. I hate how they call him Big Bill, but Bill wanted to get rid of OC. So Swerve goes like, okay, you can do that. But then uh, when Big Bill wasn't looking, Swerve Scott eliminated him, took him out of the match, and then it came down to Orange Cassidy and Isaiah Swerve Scott, which was a pretty good match. Pretty good, final two there. They went back and forth a little bit. Orange Cassidy hit his Stun Dog Millionaire, hit a few orange punches. But they were both battling out on the apron, and then Orange Cassidy just kicks Isaiah's hand off the rope, and he goes falling to the floor, and still the international champion is Orange Cassidy. Sorry, is Orange Cassidy. So, I have a feeling his title reign is coming close to an end. Maybe, I would say maybe at Forbidden Door. I feel like that's where he will lose the title. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But overall, I thought it was an okay match. It's way too long. Way too long. This match should not need to be that long. And I really don't like I don't really like when battle royals start off a pay-per-view. But it was what it was. And then the next match we had was here we go. We got the unsanctioned match between Chris Jericho and Adam Cole. Yeah, so nobody was AEW wasn't liable. They could do whatever they want in this match. So you had Jericho with the rest of the JAS with him. And then you had Adam Cole, and you had Sabu as the special enforcer, which he was out there for a little bit. So right at the beginning of the match, you had the JAS attacking Adam Cole and Sabu. Sabu, he was throwing chairs, it was crazy. He got a table out. He put, I believe it was Angelo Parker and Daniel Garcia through a table. We saw Roderick Strong out there. He was getting involved. We saw Jake Hager. It was just a whole bunch of crazy stuff going down, crazy shenanigans that were going down. And a highlight in this match was when Jericho, he threw a steel chair at Adam Cole while he was on the top rope, and then Adam Cole went plummeting through a table on the outside of the ring. That was a pretty nice spot in the match. Adam Cole, he tried going for a Panama Sunrise later on in the match, but it did not end up looking very well. Jericho kind of botched it a little bit. We saw Britt Baker, she got involved. She came down with a candlestick, wailing Jericho with it, and then we had Saraya come down. She was getting hit with a candlestick, and then Britt Baker chased Saraya backstage, so that was end up seeing them. We saw some handcuffs in the match. What else did we see? Yeah, we saw they were going back and forth so they were Jericho and Adam Cole. They ended up getting both tied up to the handcuffs and stuff, and that's when they did that Panama Sunrise, and that, like I said, didn't look very good. But towards the end of the match, we had it was Adam Cole. He was just hitting a whole bunch of hammer punches on Jericho, and then not Britt Baker. Sorry, Aubrey Edwards ended up having to call the match. So the winner in the match was Adam Cole. He won it by referee stoppage. So yeah, overall it was an okay match. And this past week on Dynamite we had that mixed tag match, which was terrible main event. But I digress. As I predicted, Adam Cole will go over here. I was 2-0 already with these predictions, so yeah, we'll move on to the next match, which we had. Okay, this going into the show, I really wasn't looking forward to that much, but after watching this is pretty fun. But we had the AEW World Tag Team Championships. So FTR was defending titles against Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, and Mark Briscoe was a special guest referee. I thought this was fun. Mark Briscoe, he did his job well as a referee in this match. Um, the fans were kind of like weren't really alive for this match. It seems like they were like just sitting on their hands, like nobody. They were just kind of out of it and stuff. Um, we had FTR. They were doing some nice in double team moves on Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett throughout the match. A great tag team that they are, and of course the heels that Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal are. They were doing a lot of heel work and stuff. Um, but yeah, the match didn't get picked up until we started having like all the shenanigans get involved. Like we had a ref bump when uh, it was Jeff Jarrett. He brought in a guitar and accidentally hit Mark Briscoe over the head, so he was out. Um, and then we had FTR. They hit like a shatter machine? Yeah, they hit like a shatter machine on Jay Lethal. But there was no referee, and then Aubrey Edwards came out and Sanjay Dutt. Well, he got kicked out. He had to go backstage. So, but Sanjay Dutt was on his way backstage, but Aubrey Edwards was trying to get through, but Sanjay Dutt wouldn't let Aubrey Edwards through. And then Karen Jarrett hit Aubrey Edwards with a guitar, so she was out. We had some more fuckery going on with this match. Crazy stuff going on. And then we had Jeff Jarrett. He finally hit the stroke on to one of the members of FTR, and then Mark Briscoe finally came too. But ultimately, in the end, FTR would end up hitting the Shatter Machine to retain the AEW World Tag Team titles. I thought it was a good match. I thought it was fun. Going back and watching this match over again, I enjoyed it like the second time I watched it. Because when I watched it live, I was like, this match is just dragging. I mean, this match didn't need to be that long, but I mean, it was still a fun match. Like towards the end when all the fuckery happened. But we'll move on to the next match, which we had was the TNT Championship ladder match. Wardlow was defending the title against Christian Cage. In the corner, Christian Cage, you had Luchasaurus. I thought this was just an average ladder match here. I mean, some of the big spots in this match were, that big spot where Wardlow had Luchasaurus on a table, and then Wardlow jumped off like a 12-foot ladder, did a swanton bomb through the tables. So that was pretty cool. You had Christian Cage. He took a nasty what was it? Alabama slam through a ladder. That was crazy. And then Wardlow would try to attempt another swanton, but Christian moved out of the way, and Wardlow hurt his back in that spot. Like I said, I thought this was just an average ladder match and stuff. We had Arn Anderson come out, but it looks like Luchasaurus was about to beat up on Arn Anderson, but Arn Anderson started biting on the thumb of Luchasaurus, so kind of took him out of the picture. But ultimately, it came down. So Christian Cage, he was climbing the ladder. Christian Cage was climbing the ladder. And then Arn Anderson, he tipped the ladder over, and then Wardlow caught him in a power bomb, and then Wardlow went up and retained his TNT title match. I mean, retained his TNT championship. Yeah, I just wish we got a new TNT champion here because, like I said in my predictions, Wardlow isn't really doing it for me right now. He's just not doing it for me right now. My notifications are going crazy. But yeah, Wardlow isn't really doing it for me right now, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, Wardlow retained though. So we'll move on to the next match, which was, oh gosh, this match. So we had the AEW Women's World Championship. We had Jamie Hayter defending the title against Toni Storm. Jamie Hayter, Toni Storm, she does her entrance. And then Jamie Hayter looks like she's coming out, but she doesn't come out. But then she's getting beat up by the rest of um, Tony Storm's faction, or Saray's faction. The Outcast ends up getting beat up by them. They're working on Jamie Hayter's arm. And then Jamie Hayter eventually, she ends up getting in the ring, and Aubrey Edwards asking if she's ready to go, and she says, "Yeah." They ring the bell. Tony Storm she tries to win really quick, but Jamie Hayter ends up kicking out. And then later on in the match, we had the turnbuckle get exposed, and also we had Ruby Soho. She sprayed spray paint in the face of Jamie Hayter, and then on Tony Storm, she rammed Jamie Hayter's hurt shoulder into the exposed turnbuckle, and then Tony Storm hit the Storm Zero to become the new AEW Women's Champion, Tony Storm. So this is her second time winning the AEW Women's title. This was like a really short match. Had a lot of interference in this match. Really wasn't a big fan of this at all. We didn't even have like Hikaru Shida out here. We didn't have Britt Baker to help out Jamie. Like nobody. It was just her on her own. And maybe the reason why they took the title off of Jamie Hayter was because she's injured right now, which is really unfortunate. But Jamie Hayter really hasn't been doing it as the AEW Women's Champion right now. Like I said, that could be due to with her injury. But yeah, new AEW Women's Champion is Tony Storm, which hey, I'm happy for her. I think this would be pretty good to see her as a AEW Women's Champion, because I can't get me enough of Tony Storm here. But the match was not that good. And then the next match we had was the AEW World Trios Championship. This was an open house match. We had the House of Black defending titles against the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass, Billy Gunn. This was just an average match here. I didn't think it was anything crazy. This is kind of like where I kind of zoned out of the pay per view for a little bit. I knew that the House of Black were going to retain. I'll tell you, it's a nice thing in this match was, well, this wasn't even in the match, but it was when Max Caster was doing the his rap. He was talking about Buddy Murphy, or he was talking about Buddy. What's his name in AEW? Let me see really quick. He was talking about Buddy Matthews. Sorry, he was talking about Buddy Matthews and saying how and how he's getting cucked by a person, like a guy named Dominic. So I thought that was funny when Max Caster said that on the mic. And then throughout the match, when Buddy Matthews got in the match, they were chanting Dominic. So Dominic's getting over in AEW, and he's not even in AEW. I thought that's hilarious. So the the AEW Smarks were really doing it here. But and ultimately, the House of Black will retain when it was Malachi Black. He hit his Black Mass on Daddy Ass. So, like I said, still the Trios champions are on the House of Black. Excuse me. Now we're going to move on to the next match, which we had was a TBS Championship Online. Jade Cargill was defending the TBS Championship against Taya Valkyrie. This was another match I didn't really care much for. I mean, it was okay for what it was, but it just kind of dragged a little bit too long. Jade Cargill ended up hitting her Jaded to win the match. I mean, there was actually a close fall where Ty Valkyrie hit her Road to Valhalla. I thought, okay, maybe we might get a new TBS champion, but that ended up happening. So, still the TBS champion was Jade Cargill. Then after the match, we had Mark, what's his name? His name is Smart Mark Sterling. He got on the microphone saying, "Hey, there's nobody else, on this roster, that can beat Jade, and like there's nobody left. And then cue up music. We have the return of uh the alien space, like the alien Chris Statlander, like the supernatural one, the Chris Statlander. So she came back. Um, they had an impromptu match for the TBS Championship. Um, Chris Statlander, she hits her finish, um, really quick, and then new TBS champion is Chris Statlander. I had a feeling that Chris Statlander was going to be returning soon, but I wasn't expecting to hear at Double or Nothing. And also, I think it kind of makes Jade look a little weak now after she's won these 60 matches. I feel like it makes her, excuse me, not look as strong after losing this quick fashion. I mean, I've been hearing things going like people saying that, oh, like Chris, it was good that Chris Statlander returned because Jade Cargill ended up injuring Chris Statlander a while back. But I don't know. I don't think they should have done it in this fashion because, like I said, this kind of tarnishes Jade Cargill a little bit. But I mean, I'm happy that Chris Statlander is back. I was always been a big fan of her. I'm happy she's getting a title here, but hopefully she stays. Hopefully she doesn't get injured anymore. I mean, there's always gonna be injuries in wrestling, but like hopefully she stays healthy because she is a little injury prone because she both her knees got blown out. She had to get both ACLs replaced. So um, yeah, hopefully she stays healthy though because like I said, I'm a fan of. Excuse me, my nose is running, but I'm a big fan of Chris Statlander. But we'll move on to the next match. Which we had was this was I thought this was going to be the main event, but it didn't end up happening to be the main event. We had the AEW World Championship match. We had MJF defending the title against Jack Perry, against Darby Allin and Sammy Guevara. Wow. This match, they went full throttle in this match. Went 100 miles per hour. This match was crazy. You had so many crazy spots in this match. You had a lot of super kicks. You had a lot of Canadian destroyers. There was one point where a spot I really liked in the match where they were had each other, like all four guys were like each other like in some type of submission. I thought that was pretty cool in the match. And another spot I really liked in the match with it was like Jack Perry, Darby Allin, and Sammy Guevara. They were all three going at it. It's really nice close falls. With those three guys. So that was pretty cool. And there was another spotlight in the match where I believe it was a Jungle Boy and Sammy Guevara. There was a nice Spanish fly off top rope and landed on MJF and Darby Allin. That was a really cool spot match. But ultimately, well, Jack Perry, he brought in the AEW championship, later on in the match. Like, should he hit, like, pandering to the fans? You like, should I hit, Darby Allin with the title? Kind of go like, should he turn heel and stuff? But he didn't end up doing that. And then later on in the match, we had Darby Allin. He was getting ready to go for a coffin drop. And Jack Perry was holding, was it the AEW title? I'm pretty sure it was the title. And the holding title, and then Darby Allin ended up hurting himself off of that coffin drop, and then MJF he and then MJF he ended up doing a headlock takeover to pin Jack Perry. So this is all going all the way back to AEW Full Gear 2021, I believe. Yeah, 2021. So this is going all the way back to that match that they had. So I kind of like how it's going full circle. But yeah, this was a really fun match. They, like I said, they went full throttle in this match. Crazy spots in the match. Definitely, this is like if you haven't checked this match out, definitely go check it out. This match was amazing. And then we move on to the next match, which was the main event of the evening. We had Anarchy in the Arena. This is Anarchy in the Arena 2. So we had the Elite going up against the Blackpool Combat Club, and boy, oh boy, And this is anarchy, as they say. This is what they call anarchy in the arena, man. This was crazy. Right thing to start off the match. Well, first of all, we had the band that does Wild Thing. They were singing Moxley's song, which I don't understand, like the whole blackface and all that type of stuff. I really wasn't a fan of that. I kind of this didn't that didn't go over very well for me. I didn't like that at all. I think that's like one of the worst things of this match was the singing of Moxley's song. I should have ended like right away, but they want to do what they did last year, which I understand. Um, but yeah, the start of the match, they all start fighting in the crowd, fighting in the risers. Like, man, this match was crazy. I don't want to go over all the spots in the match because man, there's so much stuff to talk about. Like, I'll be here forever if I go over every spot in this match. But another thing I have to say is like the production sometimes like with this match here was like a little off because like they ended up like sometimes not getting it fully on camera and then like they had to go back and show a replay of what happened, which it kind of sucked. um so that's another negative about this match. But we had Matt Jackson and Claudio Castagnoli. They were the guys who decided to go fight outside of the arena. So that was pretty cool. They ended up fighting in the on the where the concession stands were. Um, ended up fighting. Where they ended up fighting into a back of a bed of a truck. So that was pretty cool in the match. Um, I'll tell you, Moxley, he was bleeding a lot. Moxley and Kenny Omega, those were the guys that went at it quite a bit in this match. Um, Danielson, he was doing this thing, kicking people's heads in. That's what he loves to do. Matt Jackson, I'll tell you what, he took or was it? Yeah, it was Matt Jackson. He took a crazy a thumbtack spot to the foot. The sole of his foot, had thumbtacks all over. That was nuts. Wheeler Yuta, he was looking pretty good in this match. Now, towards the end, it looks like Hangman Page, he was going to hit, his buckshot lariat. But there was a guy who came out, he had like a hoodie on, like had like a face mask on, like a face covering on. So they took out, that person took out Hangman and Page and took out the rest of the elite. And then basically Wheeler Yuta pinned Kenny Omega to win the match for the Blackpool Combat Club. So that was pretty cool, Kenny Omega. I mean, not Kenny Omega. Wheeler Yuta, and he's been doing a lot of stuff for the Blackpool Combat Club lately. I mean, he's a true pillar right here. I mean, pinning Omega, like he's definitely a true pillar. I'm just teasing. But after the match, it was shown that Tanoshe Takeshita was the guy. So yeah, it looks like he's gonna be part of the Blackpool Combat Club. He turned heel, and there were some rumors about him, joining the Blackpool Combat Club. So I definitely think it's gonna be interesting. And Don Callis, of course, is with the Blackpool Combat Club. So yeah, I definitely think we're gonna be getting Anarchy in the arena coming up. Probably in July, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But man, what a crazy match here. This was pure anarchy. Anarchy. This was so much violence in this match. Like I said, I can't go over all the spots that happened because, like I said, I'll be here forever. But man, it was definitely worthy of being the main event. And like as MJF was saying, in the media script, he said he didn't want to be in the main event, wrestling in John Moxley's blood and be wrestling on the mat that Wheeler Yuta was all sweaty and like like wrestling in his sweat. He didn't want to be doing that. So that's why he wanted to go on before the main event. But yeah, that was AEW Double or Nothing. Man, it feels good to have this review done with guys. This was a long weekend of this past weekend was a long weekend of wrestling. I didn't review what show was it? I didn't review Under Siege, Impact Wrestling Under Siege. I probably won't be doing a review of it. Sorry. I was on a watch along. If you guys want to go check that out on True Heel Heat Wrestling, I did do a watch along with them. But I will do the next Impact show. I will be reviewing that one, which is against all odds later on here in June. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, AEW Double or Nothing was it was a solid show. I enjoyed it overall. If I had to rank the three shows this past weekend, I would say NXT Battleground. I think that would be number one for me, to be honest, because like overall, like before I was going like before I watched Battleground, I don't think it's gonna be that strong. But man, was I wrong? Battleground was a very solid show. And then second, hmm, I think I might have to say Night of Champions because like I just love that like storytelling with the bloodline, and I just love that amazing drama with that. But I mean, Double Nothing was really good, so Double Nothing would have to come in third for me, in my opinion. But I'm not saying AEW Double or Nothing is a bad show. It's just saying like there's some things I cared about. There's some things I didn't care about, and like I said, some of the matches went on way too long. Maybe if they cut some of the matches down on this show, I think this would have been the best show of the weekend, in my opinion. I really think so. And I cut down on the length of this show, then it would have been great. But Battleground, got the best show of the weekend for me because really there was not anything bad on the show. I mean, it was a good time show. Um, like really nothing I hated. And we got Living Big with Big Reg. What's going on, man? Good seeing you in the stream here. He says I haven't been into NXT like I was before, with the exception of liking a few superstars. I can see that. But yeah, if you did check out my NXT review, basically what I was saying with NXT and stuff, I just kind of lost my train of thought there. Oh no! The reason why I said NXT, no. Oh, yeah, I remember now. So NXT, Battleground, I believe that was like the best special or premium mob event ever since, probably since Turning 2.0. But yeah, definitely check out that show if you haven't. But yeah, like I said, AEW Double or Nothing was a good show, but like I said, some things I didn't care about, and some things were just like way too long. But yeah, if this is your first time ever checking out my channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Also, share the video, and also go follow me on all my social media platforms. Go follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the True JSB. And I'm on the road to 600 subscribers. So, like I said, share the video, get my channel notes out there more. It's like I said, I'm on the road to 600 subs. I'm going to be doing a lot more stuff on my channel here. So definitely stay tuned. What else? What else? Yeah, so definitely, like I said, subscribe, hit the like button, turn on the notification bell, to be notified every time I make a new video. And I got a lot of things coming out in June here, because I'm gonna be doing some money to bank stuff coming up here, like some watch alongs for Money in the Bank, maybe like a best of Money in the Bank series. So stay tuned for that. What else? We got Forbidden Door coming up in a few weeks. Can't forget about that. That's gonna be on June 25th. So I'll be doing a preview and prediction show for that. We got the debut of AEW Collision, which is going to be happening in a couple weeks here. So that's going to be fun to do. Maybe I might do a review of that because I mean we got CM Punk. He's coming back to AEW. Sorry. And one thing before I go, because Big Reg asked who is going to win the Money in the Bank. Who do I think is going to win the Money in the Bank? I believe that's going to be Cody Rhodes, but we just have to wait and see. I mean, another person who I love to see is like LA Knight or somebody like that. But yeah, yeah, I appreciate Big Reg stopping by on my channel, and that was cool seeing you here. But yeah, this is your boy Juggernaut saying peace out, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.